Alright, this is The Awakening, chapters 9 through 18.
Okay. Edna, the characters evolved, only Edna and Robert did. Edna undergoes this phase to where she's feeling towards Robert, but she's being pulled away because of the society and tradition of the Victorian era. And she even is disobedient to her husband. She's being tested by her own sense of independence and self-control. On the other hand, Robert feels the same way for Edna as she feels for him, but he can't come out and say this because it's not traditional for them to act this way, and he knows that Leonce has only the rights over Edna.
The plot throughout this part is basically Robert and Edna's feelings are evolving for each other, and the night that they're on the porch is the night that it really all begins. They start to realize how they feel about each other and what is going on between them, and that's also the night that she starts to defy her husband and defy her motherly duties. The one motherly duty that she has performed throughout this entire book, it happens that night whenever she puts her youngest son to sleep, I think. She rocks him to sleep because he's being really rowdy. But and then later on, Robert decides to leave from Mexico, and that really causes Edna to, it bothers her because he hasn't really talked to anyone about it. No one really knew about it. And then what else was there? Later on, what was there? Something else I said. Okay.
Okay, and I had a couple questions. Does Mr. Pontellier have any idea what is going on between Robert and Edna?
Yes.
Yes, he does, because he's noticing the change in Edna herself.
Yeah. And then Robert obviously left so sudden because of his feelings for Edna, right?
That's what we think, because he didn't even give her a proper goodbye.
He didn't tell her where he was going?
It was like a complete shock to her.
Yeah.
And then, do y'all think Edna cares more for her family than Robert, or Robert?
There's to some extent her family, because she has children and a mother's always going to.
But she's giving up all of her like motherly and wife duties.
And
Like
also
the Tuesday receptionist thing, and she like the day that she's standing there on the porch and she's like sees her children and they're like, basically she thinks her children are annoying.
And she does feel weird and awkward when she's away from Robert. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my quote real quick. How many years have I slept? The whole island seems changed. A new race of beings must have sprung up, leaving only you and me as past relics. How many ages ago did Madame Antony die? And when did our people from Grand Isle disappear from the earth? In this quote, regarding the fact that Edna is only joking, at some extent I believe she does wish it were true. That it was only her and Robert on the island with no one else existing.
She perceived that her will had blazed up, stubborn and resistant. She could not at that moment have done other than denied and resisted. She wondered if her husband had ever spoken to her like that before, and if she had submitted to his command. Of course she had. She remembered that she had, but she couldn't realize why or how she would have yielded, feeling as she did then. I like this quote because it shows that Edna does have a mind of her own, and she can speak up for herself when needed. She did not, under any circumstance, let her husband tell her what to do in this situation. She stood her ground firmly, and which goes to say, a woman can just as easily be as rough as a man when it comes to the actions of words.
Okay, once she stopped and taking up her wedding ring, flung it upon the carpet. When she saw it lying there, she stamped her heel upon it, striving to crush it, but her small boot heel did not make an indenture, not a mark upon the little glittering circlet. The wedding ring symbolizes Leonce and her marriage, of course, but it's like she's trying to escape from it and get away from it, and no matter how hard she tries, she can't, because it's completely unacceptable for her to run off with Robert and divorce Leonce. And stamping on it is her trying to defy it, like she's beginning to do with her husband, and no matter what she's doing, nothing will work. She's stuck.
The symbol will always be there.
Yeah, she's stuck with him.
Just as the sea will always be a symbol of her independence and escape freedom.
And that's the end.